The stated goal of the Department of Government Efficiency is to reduce government bloat. Musk has recently claimed savings of $55 billion. As U.S. debt skyrockets exceeds manageability, the country faces a decision between cutting services or raising taxes. But is Musk helping the problem, or is DOGE a distraction from more impactful ways to restructure and address the national debt? The U.S. military budget this year will be $848 billion. Less than half goes to the armed forces. 55% goes to private contractors who use it to drag out projects so they can continue billing or to buy real estate investments. I used to work for and be one. Cutting off those companies would save over $460 billion this year. That makes DOGE's savings of $55 billion seem quite modest, perhaps because it's targeting areas that are not as impactful. That also gives the impression that the strategy may have sacrificed effectiveness for ideological marketing. Also, the average $1.9 billion in taxpayer dollars given to Musk companies Tesla and SpaceX each year, which for some unknown reason hasn't been sacrificed, could raise some eyebrows. The U.S. has to do some deep restructuring by 2027 to merely begin addressing the national debt, which is projected to be 116% of the GDP around 2035. Things really do need to change as far as spending and taxation. However, I would sleep better at night knowing changes are being made to fix problems rather than target philosophical enemies. By 2040, the United States will face severe consequences from its mounting national debt, which is projected to reach unsustainable levels. According to Congressional Budget Office (CBO) projections, the debt-to-GDP ratio will hit between 175% and 200% between 2040 and 2045, a dramatic increase from today's level of nearly 100%. This trajectory represents a peacetime high, with the debt expected to exceed its post-World War II record high within just a few years. The structural mismatch between federal spending and revenues will continue to widen, with outlays projected to climb from 23.1% of GDP in 2024 to 27.3% by 2054, while revenues will only reach 18.8% of GDP in the same period. The consequences of this debt burden will be far-reaching and have 5 major areas of impact. 1. Crowding out of essential programs. Interest payments on the debt are projected to nearly double from 2024 levels, reaching $1.8 trillion by 2035. These payments will exceed defense spending by 1.7 times, severely limiting the government's ability to fund other priorities. 2. Economic slowdown. The rising debt will crowd out private investment, hindering job creation and curbing productivity, ultimately reducing real incomes for Americans. 3rd, potential fiscal crisis. Some economists warn that the U.S. is approaching a tipping point beyond which large accumulations of government debt begin to slow growth. Investors could lose confidence in Washington's ability to manage its fiscal challenges, potentially leading to higher interest rates and a debt spiral. 4. Diminished global leadership. The fiscal constraints imposed by servicing such massive debt could undermine U.S. global leadership by leaving fewer resources for military, diplomatic, and humanitarian operations worldwide. 5. Intergenerational inequity. Young Americans will bear the burden of decisions made today, as the debt represents obligations that future generations must fulfill. Considering the dramatic restructuring that must begin by 2027, we do know that lowering government expense and debt is a critical need. Unfortunately, the Department of Government Efficiency is not creating the necessary impact and have proven themselves to be an ideological distraction from actual fixing the problem.